It's Fan Fiction Friday. Let's see what you cooked up. Colby, hit it.
You are Locked On Mariners, your daily Seattle Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Ahoy, sailors. It is Friday, June 20th, 2025. This is Tidy Gonzalez and Colby Patnode for the Locked On Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. As always, if you want to hear from me and Colby even more and help support the show, you can check out our Patreon. All you have to do to check that out is click the link in the description of this episode. So the Mariners beat the Cubs 9-4 this afternoon at Wrigley Field. Cal Raleigh came through with a couple of home runs. Mitch Garver drove in 5 with a couple swings of the bat himself. Donovan Solano had 3 hits. And we're going to talk about none of it because it's Fan Fiction Friday, the show where you submit your Mariners trade ideas and we grade them on the 20/80 scale based on things like creativity, uniqueness, and how realistic they are. But go M's. Good win today. Nice way to start the 17-game and 17-day stretch. Jay just kicking us off here on Fan Fiction Friday with a deal with the Milwaukee Brewers. Rhys Hoskins and Trevor McGill going to Seattle. Ty Pete, Michael Arroyo, and Brandon Garcia going to the Brewers. Jay also had a poll that accompanied this trade. 1,317 people voted on this poll. 46% said the Mariners say no to the deal and the Brewers say yes. 31% say both teams say yes. 15% said Mariners say yes, Brewers say no, and 8% said Mariners say no, Brewers say no. So, Colby, you agree with the 46%, the majority that said the Mariners say no to the deal, but the Brewers would do it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough deal. There's a lot of parts here. There's a lot of factors that go into this. Again, just real fast to reiterate, we're assuming the Brewers are selling. We're assuming the Mariners are buying. We're assuming the money is something that they're willing to do, unless it's outrageous. So don't send us your Fernando Tatis Jr. trades. Like, obviously, no. But so again, with all those assumptions aside, this deal, like, really, Rhys Hoskins is the name because he's the bat and he plays first base and all that. He's not the piece you're trading. Like, yes, he would help. In theory, he would help. But that's not really the guy here. The guy that you're getting, the guy that you're valuing most in this trade, to me, is Trevor McGill, who's got a couple years of club control after this year. He's been really pretty good the last last 2 years now. Big time fastball velo, gets a lot of swing and miss. Also has some struggles walking guys. So he's an interesting profile. The Mariners desperately need some swing and miss in the bullpen. Hoskins is a rental. He's an expensive one at that monetarily. I believe JH had money going also in the deal that he explained his rationale, in a thread, but this isn't the Jade show. So
that's right, Jade. We control things here.
That's right. Who'd you take this trade from? Anyways. Yeah. Anyway, so Hoskins is interesting. He would help, obviously. He would help. I mean, in theory, over a 2-month span, any hitter can struggle and the trade could be worthless, blah, blah, blah. So all trades are a risk. All trades are a gamble. In a vacuum, I don't have a big problem with it. I would like somebody a little bit better than McGill. Like, if I'm going to go out, like, I would prefer like a Pete Fairbanks, but is he available? I don't know. So yeah, like Ty Pete, Michael Arroyo, and Brandon Garcia. That's a pretty aggressive offer without offering any like elite prospects. Like, Arroyo's a good prospect. Brandon Garcia, reliever. I mean, that's who he is. A pretty decent relief prospect, but nothing super special there. And then Ty Pete is just all projection, all tools right now. So I don't think it's that far off. I do wonder maybe if I'm trading a little bit too much for the reliever's club control versus his production in this trade. Again, McGill's been good. Hasn't thrown a ton of innings the last 2 years. He struggles with walks quite a bit. So I do wonder maybe.
I mean, it's really just this year that he struggled with the walks. So maybe
that's what I meant.
Get him back on track in that. Yeah. But what I'm saying though is like maybe you can get him back on track in that regard.
I wonder if like obviously McGill is a valuable reliever and he's going to cost something because he's got some club control. Like that's just what relievers cost at the deadline.
Yeah.
I wonder if Hoskins is actually that much of a plus in this deal. Would he help? Sure. I mean, like in theory, but he's just kind of a league average bat. And at first base is league average enough. If it's the best you could do, yeah, maybe it might be. But again, it's a rental. The expected batting average is terrible. He strikes out a lot right now. He's swinging and missing a lot, but he's not chasing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not chasing, but you're swinging and missing a lot, that's a bit of a red flag for me, like with Randy Arozarena now. So
yeah, he's also not slugging a ton right now. Like he's slugging 421, which is fine, but not great, especially not for a first baseman.
Yeah. Overall, I would look elsewhere before I would do this deal, like aggressively. But I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility. I think maybe Arroyo is too strong of a headliner for, a first baseman who's mediocre at the plate and a reliever who has some command issues right now, some control issues right now. And I don't want to pay more for McGill because he's got 2.5 years of club control than I would for a rental reliever with similar stuff just because he's only got 2 months of club control. So I think you got to be careful here. But yeah, it's interesting. I think the Mariners are overpaying just a little bit here. Not a ton that I would be super upset if they pulled off a deal like this. But this is also one of those deals where it's like, it kind of depends, are they a game out of the third wild card or are they a game out of the division? Like what are we talking here? Because that will dictate how aggressive you're going to be on trades like this as well.
Yeah, my first reaction to this is Arroyo is probably the appropriate headliner for this particular deal. I think a lot of this comes down to how the Brewers view Ty Pete, which anytime Ty Pete is in a deal, that's what a lot of it comes down to, is how that team views Pete. So I don't know. I think the deal itself is fine. I think this is a 50.
If I'm giving up Arroyo, I'd much rather get a Josh Naylor type. I might even prefer more of a Ryan O'Hearn because he's actually performing right now. But yeah, the McGill thing is certainly he would help. And you definitely need bullpen. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone here. Yeah, 45, 50, somewhere in that range.
Ham Swaggerty 69 has a deal with the Kansas City Royals. Luke Raley, Harry Ford, Brandon Garcia, and Jared Sundstrom to Kansas City for Lucas Urseg and Michael Garcia, who's finally broken out. So you're going to have to pay something nice for him. And Ham Swaggerty 69 kind of going for that here with both Raley and Ford involved here. Sundstrom, Garcia, just kind of whatever in this deal. The real price here again is Raley and Ford. I don't think this gets it done for what Garcia's done this year.
No, look, I understand the thought behind it because the Royals outfield is dreadful. Like it's terrible. Yeah. They need outfield help desperately. They need outfield help. Raley,
if they trade Garcia, they're going to need infield help. Because like Jonathan India has been bad. Well, I don't know why I had Jonathan Diaz on the brain there.
He threw 7 quality innings last night, but I think so. Raley, I think would make sense for the Royals in a vacuum. The problem here is that Urseg is also having a really good year, and so that is going to add more to this. And Harry Ford is not going to have much interest to the Royals because 3 of their top 4 prospects right now are catchers.
Yeah.
Like the Royals have more high-end catching prospect depth than any team in baseball. So Ford really isn't going to move the needle for them at all. So in this case, it's basically Raley, Garcia, and Sundstrom for, arguably top 3 third basemen in the American League right now. That's how bad that position is and how good Garcia's been on top of it.
Yeah.
And then like a high leverage late inning reliever with, I think, quite a bit of club control. Like, not going to get it done. I don't think.
No, Garcia alone. We're talking about an uber athletic 25-year-old
Mm-hmm.
who's still under club control through the 2029 season, who's finally figuring it out at the plate.
Who's always posted really high exit velos and always
Yeah.
has kind of shown that, like, yeah, he's got some pop in him. It's just he's got to get the launch angle right.
Doesn't strike out at all.
Can steal
Walks
bags.
a fair amount.
Yep.
Steals a ton of bags.
Could play shortstop or second in a pinch if you need him to. Like, he's super valuable. Like, I think Luke Raley for Urseg is interesting in a vacuum. The Mariners need bullpen help. The Royals desperately need outfield help. But if they make this trade, then the Mariners need outfield help. So they're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I just don't think there's enough here. And Michael Garcia, you almost need him to cost prospects because, like, I mean, you can't. There's no major leaguer you're going to trade for Michael Garcia right now. Because the Royals are going to be like, cool, George Kirby,
Brian Wu,
yeah, Bryce Miller maybe, and a prospect because Miller's dinged up right now. Like,
yeah,
I don't see it.
Yeah, you are buying Garcia at his absolute highest.
Yep.
I think if any prospect gets it done, it's Cole Emerson.
Yeah, and even then, you probably still have to give up Rayleigh and probably a little something else too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this one is DOA.
Yeah. Again, I know where you were going with it, but when you actually look at it, when you broaden it out to, like, why would the Royals do this? They wouldn't. So it's like a 30, 35.
Yeah, I'm going to go 30 on this one.
Yeah.
All right, we will look at more of your trades in just a moment, but first a reminder that this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you by wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Whether I'm snacking at my desk or on a road trip or just need a quick protein boost, they're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. Get snackin' and get crackin' with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. For instant reactions following every Mariners game, be sure to tune in to the Mariners postcast with Anderson Hurst and Christopher Crawford, available on both the Locked On Mariners YouTube and podcast feeds. If you want to hear more about today's game, you can go check out the live stream that those two fellas did earlier today here on the channel. Before we get back into trades here on Fan Fiction Friday, let's give you an update on our Feeding America fundraiser. We are now at $5,997 raised. If anyone wants to, throw in like a little $3 donation to get us to a nice even 6K, that would be pretty cool of you.
I mean, you could just do $4 for every home run a Mariners catcher hit today.
That's right. You could also do that. Devin came through with a donation that it doesn't say what the amount is. Does it say it for you?
No.
I don't know why Feeding America does that, but Devin, thank you for your donation. Anonymous, I assume you did. I think that's just like some weird glitch that Feeding America has. Anonymous came through with $50. Aaron came through with 20 and sent a message that we can't read here on the Locked On Mariners podcast. We can read it on CTZ.
Right back at you, Aaron.
That's right.
That is 100% Goldie, by the way.
Totally. Anonymous came through with $50. Anonymous with $44, and Nate with $50. So thank you guys so much for your generosity. Colby, give them the spiel.
Feeding America is a fantastic organization that works with wholesalers and farmers to buy food straight from the source so that they can feed America. Great name, right? For every $1 that we donate, Feeding America is able to create at least 10 meals from that $1 to help feed America. Again, great name, right? 1 in 5 kids have no idea where their next meal is coming from or when it's going to come. And over 50 million Americans face food insecurity. It's right now is a difficult time for a lot of people economically as well. And with school out, the kids are losing access to maybe the only guaranteed meal they were ever going to have for the next couple of months. So this is a fantastic time to partner with Feeding America yet again, where once again, every dollar we raise is 10 meals minimum for people who desperately need it. So right now we're approaching 60,000 meals raised just from your guys' donations, which is great. You guys can also get involved simply by subscribing to the channel. For every new subscriber Ty and I have throughout this fundraiser, we're donating 10 cents to Feeding America. At the end, we'll do a bulk donation. And right now, I believe we're at over 150 now new subscribers, which is just 150 meals just from clicking a button. So that's great. If you guys want to donate, the link will be in the description down below. A few years ago, we raised $15,000 and some change. This year, we're not quite on that pace. We're falling behind a little bit, guys. But we did already break our goal of 2.5K. So good work for those of you who have donated. Those of you who haven't, shame on you.
Shame.
Right.
Shame. Everyone in the comments chant with us. Shame.
Yeah. But yeah, Feeding America is a great organization. Happy to do this again. And yeah, we're pretty excited about how much we've gotten so far, but I think there's more in the tank. I think you guys can maybe dig deep like Donovan Solano did today, and
That's right.
Have your breakout day. Although 2 days ago we got like 20 donations, so that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
why not 21? Why not 30? Why not 100?
I mean, Cal hit 29, has 29 homers. You want him to hit 30 tomorrow?
30 donations.
Or $30.
Not a $30 donation. 30 donations.
I mean, they could all be $1, and technically you could do both.
That's right. That's right.
But anyways, thank you guys for those of you who have donated. And if you have already, feel free to spread the word. See how many donations we can get, how much money we can raise, how much food we can give to those who desperately need it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's get back into your trades. We've got one of Daisy and the Dingo's signature 3-team trades here. It's a deal with the Marlins and the Royals. Vinnie Pasquantino goes to the Mariners. Jesus Sanchez and Calvin Fauché goes to the Royals. And Michael Arroyo and Luis Sweetspell go to the Marlins.
It's a Daisy and the Dingo like
special.
Yeah, it's pretty much is. You're not quite sure if all the teams need to be there. You're not quite sure if why is this team involved? But this one makes a decent sense. We just talked about the Royals and how badly they need outfield help. Yep. Jesus Sanchez is fine. Like he's a nice hitter. He's nothing special, but he's fine. And I haven't actually kept up on how Fauché is throwing this year, but he was really good last year. He doesn't allow homers.
It's been fine.
Yeah, I mean, and the Royals, again, they need outfield help, and then getting an addition to the bullpen, pretty helpful. Trading Vinnie Pasquantino for an outfielder with a couple years of club control and a reliever, a pretty good reliever, with I think 3 or 4 years of club control. Maybe. I mean, but I think because they do have Caglione, who's up, and they're going to want to play him a lot, and he should really only play first base. So is this enough to get them to move Pasquantino, who also has a lot of club control left? I kind of don't think so. It feels like the Mariners would almost have to add something else going to the Royals. But if I were the Mariners and I could get Pasquantino for Michael Arroyo and, no disrespect to Luis Sweetspell, but filler, I would do that in a heartbeat. So I don't think, though, that the Royals are going to move off from Pasquantino for kind of an average.
Pasquantino and Sanchez have the same WRC plus and the same F4 this year.
Interesting. So yeah, maybe this is enough to get it done. I think that the Royals would ask for a little bit more, but with Caglione there, and with their desperate need to find some corner outfielders, and they get a pretty good reliever, I think this might be close. I think if the Mariners can maybe even tip the scales a little bit and be like, hey, I mean, we're already giving up Arroyo and Sweetspell, but what if we also gave you the Royals, right? What if we gave you Ty Pete, like, do you want like a lottery ticket like that, or would Ty Pete actually be more interesting to the Marlins, and could the Marlins send something else to the Royals? Like, I think this is a good framework. I don't know if the details are all there, but I think it's a pretty good framework for an interesting deal. So I feel like the Mariners need to add at least one more piece. I don't know who it would go to, but it does feel a little light on their end. Like, Arroyo's not a bad prospect, but Sweet Spell, literally filler. I feel like he needs something kind of more in between. Maybe the Marlins like Locklear. I don't know what their first base situation is right now, but this is interesting. This is an interesting one.
Yeah. So again, Sanchez and Pasquantino have basically been the same player in terms of the value that they brought to the table in 2025. Pasquantino is under club control for another year, though. Sanchez plays a more valuable position, especially to the Royals in particular. But yeah, I think something else needs to be added here to Kansas City's side of things. I don't think that the addition of Calvin Fauché is enough to make up for that additional year of club control that Pasquantino has. Maybe. But I don't think it has to be that significant. So yeah, like you said, I think the framework overall is really good, as my chair lowers itself here. And yeah, I think this is a great conversation starter at the very least between the three teams. And I'm going to give it a man, kind of want to give it a 60.
I mean, it does also get a bonus as a 3-team trade. That actually makes some sense. Like, those are rare.
Yeah. It's hard to do. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 60.
I feel like 60 should be reserved almost for, like, I could actually see this happening. And I don't think I could see this happen. Like, I don't think the Mariners are going to get Pasquantino for Michael Arroyo, essentially straight up. But I don't know if it's going to cost, like, they have to also give up Ryan Sloan to get something like a top 5, top 6 prospect like that to push it over the top. So yeah, I think with the degree of difficulty that Daisy and the Dingo undertook here, I think 55-60 seems fair. It's a really interesting deal. I'd be interested actually to get, like, Royals fans, like Royals, not fans, but like Royal baseball people. Yeah.
Sure.
I like to get, and I guess Marlins too, but Marlins are going to take what they're going to get. But yeah, so this is interesting. I'll go 60. Yeah, 60.
All right, we will look at more of your trades in just a moment. But first, a reminder, this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is once again brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA Finals are well underway, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. And if you're new to FanDuel, even better. It's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. It is Fan Fiction Friday. Let's get back into your trades. Ross has a 1-for-1 here. Pretty crazy 1-for-1 with the Cardinals. Cole Emerson for Brendan Donovan.
Yeah, I picked this one. Like, I picked the Fan Fiction Friday trades, guys. Ty picks the mailbag questions. Which is why Fan Fiction Friday is so much better than Mailbag Monday. Am I right? I picked this one because I was literally like, no, well, maybe, like, no, yeah, well, it's maybe. Like,
maybe
I don't want to give up Colt Emerson. You might have to, though, at some point. And Brendan Donovan is a really good player.
And you get him for 2 more years after this.
Yes. Like, it might legitimately cost. This might be the accurate cost of Donovan.
I agree.
So the real question becomes, would I pay it? Donovan can play left. He can play second. He can play third.
Yep.
Pretty much check a box of where you want to go. He gets on base. Like, he's very CTZ. I believe he's won a Gold Glove, right? Like, he's a good defender, pretty good defender. Or I always got him and Edmund mixed up for the longest time. So I'm probably thinking of Tommy Edmund. It's like when I couldn't remember Andres Jimenez and
Ahmed Rosario.
Yeah.
Brendan Donovan did win a Gold Glove in 2022.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting. I would be really uncomfortable giving up Colt Emerson, even though he's like 2 years away for Brendan Donovan. If the team is roughly where it is right now, no shot. Not interested. That is way too much to give for a 15% chance to make the playoffs. The team's in first place by July 31, and I feel really good about their odds of making the playoffs. I'd be really tempted. So I think
one is so difficult.
I think why
would you do this to us, Ross?
I think by that fact alone, it's at least a 50.
Yeah. It's again, why would you do this to us, Ross?
Ultimately, I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't do this if I were Seattle. Would I be mad if the Mariners did it?
It's just Donovan doesn't really have that many flaws.
But he doesn't really have that many plus tools either.
Yeah.
Like, he's just kind of just a good, solid, steady 3-win player.
Yeah, by WRC plus, he's 34% above league average. He doesn't really strike out. He's only striking out 14% of the time. I mean, even in his career, he's 22% above league average.
Yeah. You're paying a bit of a premium this year.
The only like red-ish flag here is that he doesn't hit for a ton of over-the-wall power.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that might be you probably acquiring to play third base, and he hasn't played third base this year. He has played third base in the past, but he hasn't played third base this year, so you also have to keep that in mind. I think it's too rich.
Just a little too rich, I think.
Because again, like, he's really good, but he's not great. He's not a star, and you're paying one of the best 15 prospects in the game for this guy.
A guy who, by the way, in Emerson has answered any questions whatsoever about whether or not he can play shortstop. He's actually playing a plus shortstop in Everett this year. Like, the conversation that he might have to move to second or third base, they're dead. He's a plus shortstop. Yeah. Defensively. And obviously the hit is really starting to come on over the last 2 weeks or so. He's a really good prospect, but he's a prospect. Keyword there, prospect, right?
Yeah, and Brendan Donovan is a good major leaguer right now.
Yes.
Like a really good major leaguer right now, and you also would have him for 2 more years after this. So
in theory, you would have him for 3 pennant races. Like, by the time Donovan leaves, Colt Emerson might just be getting his first taste of the big leagues. So yeah, it's a really, really tough one.
You've kind of stumped me here. So for that reason, I think I'm going to give you another 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to think on this one.
Yeah. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I like it though. That's going to do it for our show. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Locked On Mariners podcast. For Colby Patnode, I'm Titan Gonzalez. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at LO_Mariners. You can follow me at Titan Gonzalez and Colby at CPAT11. That's CPAT11. We're also on Blue Sky. You can follow me at TDG, Colby at MLB Colby, and the show at Locked On Mariners. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Locked On Mariners. Have yourself a beautiful baseball day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.